All right, let's talk about this story. I usually cover this stuff on my third channel, but I felt like this was a really big story that everybody needs to hear about. And I'm sure a lot of people have already heard about it, but I have a lot of takes that I just want to talk about. I'm not going to break down the story in its entirety. There's more details that you can look up on your own accord. I'm not here to do that. We're really just here to talk about my thoughts about this. So basically, Jimmy Kimmel got canceled. And the reason he got canceled is because Trump's uh, FCC guy demanded that they do it. And he is blatantly trying to demand that ABC, which is owned by Disney, cater to his demands because he said some shit about Charlie Kirk that I guess I wouldn't have said, but it really doesn't matter what I would have said because it's against the First Amendment and against multiple laws in this fucking country. The FCC should not be blatantly blackmailing corporations over speech. It's not just a violation of freedom of speech, but it's a violation of FCC laws. And and I was part of the reason I was waiting to make this video was kind of hoping that we would hear from Jimmy Kimmel and he would announce that he's suing ABC and the Trump administration for this shit. I think that is still coming because it's very odd that he's been so silent on this. I personally think a lot of it has to do that he has been probably in a state of shock like a lot of us. But I do think that maybe they're really trying to draft a really good lawsuit because I think they have an easy win here. There's no but if and buts about it. You cannot take away someone's broadcasting rights because they say things you don't like. I'm not a Jimmy Kimmel fan. I don't like talk show hosts nowadays. I like Stephen Colbert a little bit, but that was about it. Not a big, huge fan of his by any means, but he was fine. But, that doesn't really fucking matter. Because you know what I do? If I don't like something, I don't fucking watch it. And so I'm just frustrated by this whole situation because I literally saw people celebrating this. Which this should be no party should celebrate this on any level. Like Democrat, Republican, Independent, I don't care where you fucking fly on this side of the aisle. This is a violation of the First Amendment. It's blatantly out in the open. There is no ifs and buts about it. You can watch the clip. He didn't actually fucking endorse the murder of Charlie Kirk. All he said is that he was probably a Republican, which is... I guess now the more we learn about this story is it's more complicated than that. There's... It's all mess with this guy. We don't really know all the details still. So, that's why I say I wouldn't made the comments that he made, but it really doesn't fucking matter. He has the ability to say that, and he can make the jokes he wants to make. But you gotta understand, in every fucking fascist country that started as a democracy, went to fascism, including Germany, a lot of these countries, they start with comedians. They take them out first because comedians are able to show the cracks and make you laugh at the absurdity of what they're doing and make you go, wow, this shit is wild. If you're able to laugh and have a sense of humor at what this crazy shit that they do, it's able to make you understand, wow, this is not okay. This isn't absurd because the joke, that's what comedians do. They take something dark in real life and they make a fucking joke about it. And then what you do is you laugh and you realize the absurdity of it. I make a lot of jokes about death because death is bullshit and sad. But you know what? It gives people something to laugh and to think about. And that's what real good comedy is. And so that's why authoritarians hate this kind of shit. You see, this isn't about Jimmy Kimmel, even though he has been an enemy of the Republican Party for a while. It's just crazy. But what I find crazy, I was literally seeing comments celebrating this. And I literally comment back to them. They're like, this is great news. And I'm like, violating the First Amendment is great news to you? And they just had no response to that. And it's just crazy to me that anybody would celebrate this because Jimmy Kimmel isn't the end of this. They're going to come after you for making jokes about shit that they don't like. I mean, how many Trump supporters are criticizing Trump over the way he's handling the Epstein files? Well, guess what? Eventually, they're going to go on your Twitter, come to your fucking house, or do whatever they want to you because they can, and you let it happen. You said, hey, it's okay with Jimmy Kimmel, and then they went to the next guy and the next guy. Fascists don't stop with your enemies. This is the thing that these people don't understand. You may hate trans people and gay people or whatever group you hate, but eventually when they run out of gay and trans people to attack and to antagonize, they're going to go after you. They're going to go after anybody they fucking can. And it all started with Jimmy Kimmel, and you laughed it off because, well, I'm a Republican and I don't like the things he says. Instead of just not watching his talk show like a grown-ass adult, you decided to cry about it on Twitter and celebrated him losing his job over some shit he said while claiming to love the First Amendment. I just think these people are wild. And I've seen response. I do see a lot of people canceling Disney Plus subscriptions and Hulu subscriptions over this. I'll just state right now, I'm not about that. I understand if you feel that's the right thing for you, like you're not using Disney Plus and you know what, you're like, you want to take your stand, make your voice heard, great. I just don't think that there's enough people who are doing that to really make a big impact. For me, I can't cancel it. I make content, and even if I could cancel it, I don't think it's fair to cancel it because there's lots, like the Marvel Zombie show has been a show that's been in the making for years before this even happened. All those artists probably are not people that support the fiery and Jimmy Kimmel, right? They probably don't. So why am I going to punish them by not viewing their show? I guess I could pirate it, but then I'm not directly supporting the artist, which is not the correct decision. So I don't think there's a right answer when it comes to canceling Disney Plus stuff. You should make your voice heard. It's not as simple as like when you go to Target and you boycott Target. Yeah, if you're not going to Target because you don't like that they kowtow the Trump administration, I understand you. And that's a great way to show your voice. But in this case, there's other people being hurt by you showing your voice in that way. And I'm not saying you're wrong to do it that way. I'm just saying that I don't choose to do it that way. I don't know what's going to come out of this. I really think this is one of the most disgusting things we've ever seen in this country. As someone who directly knows people who were hurt by Charlie Kirk's words and statements, and will continue to be after his passing, I really hate the immortalization of a person that was an enemy of democracy and this country and should be treated as such. I really hate the normalization of someone who regularly spread hate speech and hate of others. Literally, some of his last words were him spreading hate and justifying gun violence in this country. I think that at the end of the day, you can like Charlie Kirk. We can have that debate. We can have that discussion. But we also have to acknowledge you might just be a fucking bigot if you still support this shit. His stuff is out in the open. People are quoting him directly, and you're getting pissed off about the stuff that they're quoting. And if you're pissed off about the stuff that they're quoting, that says more about you, and you taking and reading that stuff and going, wow, I did support the guy who said that. So, this is a very heated video, I understand, not my normal type of video, but this is something that needed to be said. And really, I'm posting this on my main channel, not my political channel, which I rarely post on, by the way, is because this isn't about politics. I mean, it is, right? All this is about politics. But at the end of the day, the main point of Jimmy Kimmel being fired is an entertainment story. And it's a very heartbreaking one. Because even as someone who was never really a fan of this dude, he doesn't deserve to lose his job because he said that MAGA's crazy. Because they are. Like, if you believe that Charlie Kirk's murder was such a bad thing, then why were you not sticking up for those Minnesota lawmakers who got killed? Why are you not sticking up for the dozens of atrocious things that have happened to Democrats? Oh, because it's not about that. It's about Charlie Kirk, who's a Republican and on your side. Something to think about.